Welcome back, dear viewers. We have been joined here in the studios of Hala, Kuwait with our special guest, Nasser Al-Buhairi, President, USA Kuwaiti Association for Alumni of Exchange Students. Hello and welcome, Nasser.
Good evening, Fatma, and thank you for having me with you here today.
You're most welcome. Nasser, could you please tell us more about the USKAA Association?
Okay. USKAA was founded in December 2019 with the aim to provide a platform for networking both internally and externally of its members while contributing to the national development in Kuwait using experience, lessons learned gained through their programs in the United States. The association is committed to provide a networking platform for its member with Kuwaiti and other professionals.
Yes.
To contribute to Kuwait both social and economical development, and to enhance the relation between the graduates and their U.S. sponsors through the U.S. diplomatic mission in Kuwait. The association membership is opened for all Kuwaitis or people in Kuwait.
Yes.
During their participation in the U.S. Department of State's Bureau of Education and Cultural Affairs exchange programs. Currently, the United States provide 10 programs in line with empowering or enforcing its foreign policy.
Yes.
And expose the U.S. Communities to international and global professionals and talent.
And what about these programs? You mentioned that they have 10 programs. Could you tell us more about that?
Yes, if you allow me actually to memorize all of them, you know, there is 10 different programs targeting different categories and talents, you know, in the community. Just to mention some of them, the International Visitor Leadership Program, which is considered, with all respect to all program, but this one is the most prestigious one, and the selection is central in the United States usually.
Yes.
That target professionals from around the world in different areas and fields to meet with their counterparts and have counterparts in the U.S. and have hands-on experience with the U.S. Both public and private agencies. Fulbright Foreign Language Teaching Association that select English teachers who teach English for a foreign language to develop their capabilities and skills. One of the very interesting program is the sport exchange program. That this is a 2 weeks program targeting young athletes
yes.
Who are non-elite and coaches, you know.
So this is very nice. So you have like a 2 weeks where you exchange and meet other members of society and also students.
Actually, there is various time period, like some programs can go for more than 2 weeks, some short. But as I said, there is so many programs in that regard. Other than the ones I mentioned, there is a program to authors, book authors, you know.
So it's a wide variety
from youth age to professional careers.
So this is very nice. You have from sports, literature, teaching English as a second language. That's very nice.
It is, yeah.
Yes, of course. And what are some of your future goals and objectives that you hope to accomplish within the upcoming year?
In the current in this year, you know, the current executive board and consulting with some of our members, we've set 3 strategic goals. First, to set USKAA as one of the leading and most favored associations in Kuwait by promoting the success story of our members and put highlights on the benefits of joining these programs.
Yes.
One of the most important strategic objectives we have is to develop USKAA program for talent management and knowledge exchange, where we have 2 main venues here. Is first to promote Kuwaiti talent for the selection process by the U.S. State Department, you know, for future programs to be selected and compete for these programs.
Yes.
And to provide venues for the program's graduates to pass their knowledge to Kuwaiti professionals and organization. The third strategic objective we have is to strengthen the links with the Kuwaiti communities through a social responsibility program, and specifically to encourage and enhance the relation between US communities and Kuwaiti communities, with mutual interest.
Of course, that is very important to strengthen this kind of relationship, and also by providing such programs which will benefit both parties as well.
Of course, for sure.
Of course. So can you tell us more about your personal experience within the State Department exchange program? We would like to know more about your experience so our dear viewers would know more about it.
Actually, it's not about me, USKAA, first I was selected or elected or trusted with the responsibility to coordinate the activity with two very talented individuals, Mrs. Atyab, my Vice President, Mrs. Atyab Shati, and Mr. Hamid Saad. In USKAA also we have, very mixed community and a strong culture of responsibility ownership. We have about 2,000 members that bring a huge wealth of knowledge to support us to achieve the association goals and objectives. Our members are the main driver, and their potential to that.
Yes.
I would like to divide them into three main categories. We have the professionals, in their careers and think who can share their success story, experience and knowledge. We have the youth, which is the young one, which are the main dynamic and the driver behind it. And they form actually half of the members of USKAA. And most importantly, USKAA is very interested and supportive for women empowerment in the Kuwaiti society. Kuwaiti women and partners, have a lot of success story, a lot of contribution, where we can provide the face of Kuwait,
Yes, of course, and I'm sure this is very important to spread this kind of awareness in women empowerment.
Yes.
It is a very important thing. Also, could you tell us more about your experience in disaster management? Because we know that behind every great leader, there's a great experience behind that.
Thank you very much. If you allow me, I was honored to be selected in 2017 for the International Leadership Program, as I was recognized by the State Department as 22 international expert most effective in disaster preparedness and emergency management. When I went to the program, actually, funny enough, we were talking, there is a part where we meet federal organization, and one of the organization I had the pleasure to visit was the Center for Disease Control.
Yes.
And when we went there, people were in uniforms, and things like this. And I was talking to my colleagues that, like in the next room, they're going to take us and we'll see some aliens or something, because how sophisticated things was, over there. Also, after that, we went to, when I went to Houston to do my flood management and disaster relief part of the program, they put me like for 3 days with a man in the Houston governor office, and was written in the door, the flood man, and I was wondering, the flood man,
yes,
they call him the flood man. His name is the flood man. And I was wondering, why am I doing all that? Guess what? A year later, when I came back, 2018 flood, and those 3 days really made a major impact on me and how we managed in Kuwait, how we planned. 5 years later, actually, next month I complete 5 years from graduating from the program.
Nice.
But get what? Also, 5 years later, the pandemic, crisis we have now.
Yes, of course.
And all what I remembered and getting the information, I went back to my contacts in that time, in the CDC, who helped me, to build our plans and think where I worked. So, that played a major part, into my career and this. So I hope we can get more Kuwaiti talent in such programs, where we can enhance the relation with the United States and things like that, and present the modern face and talented face of Kuwait.
Yes, of course, and hopefully we'll see more participants in the program as well for the exchange department. Inshallah. Also, is there any final words you would share with our dear viewers who are watching at home?
honestly, as I said, يعني, I encourage people to follow the programs we have.
Yes.
We have a lot of members who can provide, coaching, mentoring. We have a lot of success story to bring back to develop, our community, as I said, as both socially and economically.
Yes.
And yeah,
also a great experience as well.
It is,
yes.
Interacting with other culture, other societies, really help us a lot. And in USKAA, all our members, all our community, we looking forward, to set this image of Kuwait internationally.
Of course. Sure. Thank you so much, Nasser, for your time. It's been a pleasure to have you with us on Hala Kuwait.
A pleasure all mine, Fatma. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Nasser. Dear viewers, you had with us Nasser Al-Buhairi, President, USA Kuwaiti Association for Alumni of Exchange Students. Let's move on to our next report. It's about the World Health Organization. Let's have a look at it. Stay tuned.
The global COVID-19 pandemic has adversely affected people's health, their livelihoods, and their communities. WHO encourages local authorities and healthcare workers to conduct safe and effective contact tracing with communities around the world. We're working toward creating happy